Hey everyone, chaomix here. Sonic 06 is one of those games that everyone and their mother knows about, and not in a good way. It may actually be one of the most infamous games of all time, or at least pretty dang close. To put it bluntly, Sonic 06 is an unfinished mess of a game. It's widely regarded as the worst Sonic game in the entire series. Now, I don't entirely agree with that statement, but I definitely understand why people might think this. Either way, it's found itself being the butt of the joke of essentially every funny YouTube game reviewer at least once. I mean, if you don't have a scene in your Sonic 06 review of you throwing the game in the trash, is it really a Sonic 06 review? But do you want to know a secret? Something that every single one of these Sonic 06 reviewers doesn't want you to know? Secretly, they love this game. Yeah, you heard me right. The same people that bash the game for its glitches, awkward motion capture, and bizarre dialogue love it exactly for these reasons. How is this possible? Well, let's discuss exactly this and why bad media in general is something that's often enjoyed anyways. Before we start talking about things that are so bad that they're good, let's be a bit more direct and just talk about something that's straight up amazing. Today's sponsor, Boxu. Boxu is a premium subscription snack box that delivers unique assortments of Japanese treats. You'll find a different themed box for each month, so the variety of snacks are always changing. One of my favorite parts about Boxu is that I'm always trying snacks that I've never had before. My personal favorite snack from this month's box had to have been these curry stick potatoes. They were delicious. I was snacking the entire time I was editing this video, and I already can't wait to get my next month's box. And especially during the holidays, what better way is there to experience a custom-made taste through Japan than with friends and family? It makes for the perfect holiday gift for anyone who loves Japanese snacks and culture, especially now where traveling can be quite difficult. And while we're talking about travel, not only would they be getting Boxu, but anyone subscribed before December 31st will automatically be entered for a chance to win free tickets to Japan. 5 lucky winners will be selected for this giveaway, and I'll include a link in my description for more details and other methods of entry. So especially if you'd like to win free tickets, use code chaomix at checkout or my link in the description for 10% off your own authentic Japanese box subscription from Boxu. You won't want to miss out on this amazing fun-sized taste of Japan, so order yours today. Big thank you to Boxu for sponsoring this video, and with all that being said, let's get on to today's topic. Sonic 06, or officially known simply as Sonic the Hedgehog, released during Sonic's 15th anniversary back in 2006. It was meant to be a soft reboot of the brand to usher our beloved Blue Rat into the true next generation of gaming on the PS3 and Xbox 360. This game faced many complications during its development, including incredibly unrealistic deadlines and key members of the staff leaving midway through the project, including the father of Sonic himself, Yuji Naka. Despite all of these complications, the game was released without any compromise, and the results are considered to be the single most devastating blow to the entire Sonic franchise of all time. Sonic 06 was ripped to pieces by both critics and fans at the time of release. And after that, it continued to be ridiculed online for years and years to come. Even today, lots of people still go out of their way to insult this game to the moon and back. Many call this the worst video game of all time. Again, I don't necessarily agree with this, but I will admit, Sonic 06 is riddled with a lot of these problems that these game reviewers love to point out so often. Although the horse has been beaten dead to the point where its bones have become dust, these common complaints are usually pretty valid points. I mean, this criticism wouldn't be so overplayed if it wasn't true, right? As much of a soft spot as I have for Sonic 06, I still have to admit that it is an extremely flawed, unfinished, and unpolished game. I'm not gonna delude myself into thinking that it's a perfect game with zero downsides. I actually know a few people who think this. Sonic 06 has the ability to crumble in your hands at any given moment. It's wild and unpredictable. But here's the thing. All this stuff makes for great entertainment. Think about it. How many articles, reviews, and let's plays have been created over all of these years purely to shit on this game? Outrage over a bad video game? Now that brings clicks and views. People have opinions that they want to express, and especially on the internet, there's no louder way to express them than by outrage. And let's be honest, it's just fun to bash things sometimes. Maybe it's some form of getting out pent-up frustration, or maybe seeing something formerly acclaimed fall from grace makes you feel better about yourself. Either way, there's nothing quite like watching a funny game reviewer on YouTube rip a game to shreds for being so bad. I'm definitely guilty of watching the Game Grumps Let's Play of Sonic 06 back in the day. That shit was hilarious. Something insane would happen, like a crazy glitch or just some horribly cheesy one-liner between the characters, and there would just be such a loud reaction to it from them. Because the game is so wild and unpredictable, the funniest moments of these types of videos write themselves. Sonic 06 is an endlessly entertaining game for exactly these reasons. Even to this day, you'll still find streamers hyping up a playthrough of Sonic 06 purely because it's such a wild ride. These people secretly love this game because it puts on such a good show. Obviously, one of the biggest reasons this game is so infamous is because of how glitchy it is. Sure, you have some games like Cyberpunk where the glitches literally make the game unplayable by constantly soft-locking you or even corrupting your save file, but I think the glitches in Sonic 06 are some of the purest out there. Yeah, they'll inconvenience you and can definitely lead to some frustrating moments, but there really isn't anything that flat out breaks the game. In fact, a lot of these glitches in Sonic 06 are just straight up hilarious. You've got wonky ground detection that makes the camera go nuts, the busted collision that lets you go through certain walls, and the insane physics that lets you do this. This game is such a blast to just wander around aimlessly and mess around in, and it provides you with some fun little hub worlds to leisurely do so. Sonic 06 is like a sandbox glitch expedition, and back when this game came out, I'd literally spend hours and hours with my friends just digging around in this game, trying to find new glitches. It really reminds me of another similar thing my friends and I used to spend hours and hours doing. We'd boot up our GameCubes with Action Replay, a cheat code device for those of you that don't know, enable all of the most insane cheat codes, and then drop into Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask and go absolutely nuts. We'd fly around all the hub worlds, enable invincibility, and get attacked by a swarm of chickens, and run through the open fields at warp speed. We'd try to find sequence breaks, hidden areas, and really just do anything we thought would be funny. The main thing that this gave us was freedom and unpredictability, and Sonic 06 gave us a pretty similar experience. You don't have cheat codes that enable God mode, but you do have a slew of ability gems that basically turn you into a god anyways. That, in combination with the unpredictable nature of the game, results in a surprisingly enjoyable time. The purple gem lets you jump an infinite amount of times, and the sky gem launches you wherever you throw it, so fast that you can clip through certain walls. My friends and I would use the purple gem to clip out of the level and eventually leave the skybox, then see how long it took to fall all the way down. One time we found out that you can use the sky gem to launch into NPCs, slightly pushing them. We'd then go around the hub world and push innocent NPCs into the ocean, only to be horrified when they'd magically respawn out of nowhere. This game being so busted provided my friends and I hours and hours of entertainment. And to all of the people who have ever watched a Sonic 06 Let's Play or review just to witness the absolute train wreck can probably say the same. Sonic 06 is supposed to be a bad game, right? Well, yeah, it kind of is. But if it really is so bad, then why did I have so much fun with it? I think one of the main reasons it's so enjoyable is because it's bad. In fact, people enjoy all kinds of media that's so bad it's good all the time. But why? Are we just a bunch of masochists who love subjecting ourselves to garbage? You know what? We might just be. I think a lot of it has to do with going against the norm. As video games and even other forms of media become more and more standardized as time goes on, we start to see trends and formulas being repeatedly used across the board. It slowly becomes predictable and eventually boring. I think a common trait among quote-unquote bad media is that they usually go against these formulas in some way, intentionally or not. And when they do, even if it isn't in a conventionally good way, it's at least very interesting. Bad media is memorable, usually because it does something so out of left field. It sticks out in our mind, especially compared to something like a generic action movie that blends in with the rest by following a tried and true formula. There's a bit of irony that goes into digesting bad media for sure, especially towards the beginning, but I also think there can be a lot of sincerity once you realize that you're actually enjoying yourself. Now, everything I just said isn't always the case. There is obviously such a thing as something so bad that it's just bad. Like, not even enjoyably bad. Look at something like Sonic Forces, for example, another Sonic game that most people consider to be pretty terrible. It isn't a bad game in the same way that Sonic 06 is, though. While Sonic 06 tries to do everything at once and eat shit because of it, Sonic Forces is a game that doesn't stick its neck out to do anything interesting. Both games fail miserably, but man, I'd be lying if I said Sonic 06 wasn't at least incredibly fascinating. I really can't say the same for Forces on the other hand, it's just boring, unremarkable. It doesn't stick out in my head at all because it doesn't really do anything out of left field. How can we laugh at the hilariously bad moments when there barely are any moments at all? At the end of the day, bad media is completely subjective. And even within the realm of bad media, it being enjoyable or not is just another opinion. Like I mentioned before, there are people out there that think Sonic 06 is an unironic masterpiece. While there are a ton of awesome qualities to this game that do get swept under the rug, the general consensus is that this game is bad. So sure, Sonic 06 is a bad game, but in a weird roundabout way, at least to me, that's what makes it so good. Hey everyone, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you like what you saw, leave a like and subscribe for more content such as this. In the comments below, let me know what you think of Sonic 06. Is it a genuinely good game, or is it a so bad it's good situation, or is it just a bad game in your opinion? And to take that discussion even further, make sure to join our community Discord. I'll leave a link to that in the description. And finally, I gotta give a huge shout out to my amazing channel members. You guys are seriously awesome, thank you so much for your support. If you'd also like to become a channel member for only $2, along with getting some pretty amazing perks, press the join button beneath this video or the channel membership link in the description for more details. And with all that being said, I hope everyone has a fantastic day. Peace.